Does anybody know what price Xbox Game Pass started out at when it launched in 2017, 9 years ago? Okay, no looking it up. Be honest with me, okay? Seriously think about it. What price do you think it launched at 9 years ago? It's a bit sad to think about it. I hate to say it. I hate to break the bad news, but when it launched, Xbox Game Pass was $9.99 a month. And that's it, by the way. There were no other tiers. There were no other complicated tiers or levels or anything. It was just Game Pass is $9.99 a month. That's it. It's crazy that we went from that to this. Well, okay, yeah, there's different tiers. The smallest tier, the not as good tier, Essential, that is $9.99 a month. But who wants to do that, right? You're going to go with the actual, the Big Daddy. Obviously, you're going to go with the Ultimate version. That is, if you round up, sitting at $30 a month. Yeah, in a year, you're slapping down 360 George Washingtons just to play Xbox Game Pass. Mind you, the biggest tier of it, which, you could argue includes Xbox Gold or whatever it's called, and EA Plus or, whatever, all that extra stuff, but really it's Game Pass for $30 a month. That is really something. We've really come a long way in the past 9 years. And really in the past, 3 or 4 years, we've really jumped the gun, it seems like, when it comes to price. So, let's just go through it here, and I'm just going to round up here. I'm not going to say the 99s. Okay, I'm just going to round up to what it really is, minus 1 cent. It's 2017, that was $10 a month. 2019, that introduced Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. So that was $15 a month if you wanted to do that. So then you got a $10 a month version and a $15 a month version. Basically, the $15 a month version, that included Xbox Live Gold. Everything was pretty simple for about 4 years, and then 2023, that is when things went nuts. So 2023, Ultimate went up by $2. It went from $15 to $17 a month. Then a year later, 2024, it went up $3 more from $17 a month to $20 a month. And then a year later, this was just last year, 2025, it went from $20 a month to $30 a month. But it had the whole new tier system with it. You don't have to do the $30 a month version. But still, there is a whole bunch of growing criticism and concern. Like, how in the world in really 2 or 3 years did it go from $15 a month to $30 a month? That is really something. I had Xbox Game Pass during that whole time, and me personally, I did not feel necessarily that its value doubled in 2 or 3 years. So anyway, it turns out something just came out today that the Xbox Gaming CEO, Asha Sharma, she's recently been promoted as the CEO, so she's kind of been, in the news recently as far as, what changes is she going to make? Well, it turns out the price of Game Pass, that could be one of them. We see right here, Xbox's new boss tells staff Game Pass has become too expensive for players. I could have probably told you that a couple years ago, but I mean, hey, at least the current CEO is really acknowledging this. So, the original source is The Verge, but I'm looking at Video Games Chronicle because there is a paywall on The Verge, it looks like, but go check out that source as well. I've got both in the description. It says, in an internal memo sent to gaming employees, first published by The Verge, Sharma sent a letter saying that the service, the Xbox Game Pass service, needs, quote, a better value equation. And this is 6 months, it says, after they put it from $20 to $30 a month. Now, she also said Game Pass is central to gaming value on Xbox. It's also clear that the current model is not the final one. So here's kind of the big thing here. She says, short term, Game Pass has become too expensive for players, so we need a better value equation. Long term, we will evolve Game Pass into a more flexible system, which will take time to test and learn around. That's the main snippet of what we got. You could really dissect that in a few different ways. Maybe Game Pass being a really flexible system. I don't know, that could be maybe you are only charged the price of how many different games you're playing, because I know when I had Game Pass back in the day, I mean, I'd really only play, 2 or 3 different games maybe per month. So, kind of crazy that I'd have to pay the price per month that gives me the convenience to play all of the games I want to. I mean, on one hand, it's good to have that convenience, but on the other hand, I wasn't really taking advantage of that convenience. So maybe that's what that flexibility will look like. It sounds like with what Asha Sharma is saying, she's even really pointing out that she knows that she doesn't really even know what the final form, I guess, of Xbox Game Pass is these things, she says, are just going to be tested and they will have to learn going forward. I think that's pretty cool to hear. And it's pretty cool to hear that she does acknowledge that, yeah, $30 for the top tier for Game Pass, it's a bit too much. In this economy, I don't know. Funny enough, I canceled my subscription about 7 months ago. It was like right before they put it from 20 to $30 a month. I didn't even know they were doing that too. And even then, with $20 a month, I was like, nah, too expensive. I'm not really getting my value out of it. And then they put it up $10 more. Yeah, then it was like, yeah, I made a good decision. So it sounds like the Xbox gaming CEO is seeing that this is a very big problem, one that she does want to fix.